to all the youth in Ghana and beyond. We want to look at some interesting research that we found in our preparations towards this conversation. But our topic is the Ghanaian youth is being swallowed by rising hardship. The cry on social media is enough, but will this yield change? But before that, let me just bring you some interesting information about not just Ghana, but also Africa. Now, the biggest proportion of the African population are the most affected demographic group in any country's socio-economic and political development. Now, this group is the youth. The average age in Africa is 19 years. Research suggests that almost 16 million young Africans are unemployed. And more than 40% of young Africans consider their current living situation to be very bad. 60% of Africans, especially the youth, think their governments are doing a bad job at addressing the needs of young people. In Ghana, the World Bank says the country is faced with 12% youth unemployment and 50% underemployment and warns of the effects. We're going to look at the issues that are affecting young Ghanaians. We're going to look at new taxes coming up. Unemployment, the obvious big problem for young Ghanaians. The rising cost of living generally. If you're a young Ghanaian and you're out there watching, get on social media, tune into Metro TV, look for Metro News on Facebook, at Metro TV GH on Twitter. Join the conversation and let's have your say. Tell us how you're surviving, how you're coping in these economic times we're in. This is Inside Pages. I'm Francisca Kakra Forson. The show is brought to you by Appointed Time Printing, and we're grateful to Appointed Time for their usual support. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
Inside Pages is brought to you by Appointed Time Printing Limited.
As a mother and wife, my priority is making sure my family is protected at all times. That is why I never forget to give my angel a Flora disposable handkerchief to keep germs and sweat at bay. When hubby is out in the fields, I'm rest assured of Flora coming in handy anytime he needs it. Even when my daughter-in-law is out late, I am confident Flora disposable handkerchief will be close enough to save the moment. Flora disposable handkerchiefs are my go-to disposable handkerchiefs any day, anytime, and everywhere. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is affordable and handy. Flora, better than cloth handkerchiefs. Flora is a product of Delta Paper Mill Limited. For inquiries and bulk purchases, call 0243 033 033.
Still got it. Always keep hydrated naturally. That's my secret.
Manufactured with the primary aim of preserving nature's finest minerals necessary for a healthy mind and body. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural.
Lawful wedded wife to having to hold from this day forward. I do.
I knew it.
How much drama can you enjoy? See it feely with HD Plus. Get the best companion for your HD TV with HD Plus. Dial *879# to activate and enjoy the first 2 months for free.
Welcome back to Inside Pages. We are live on social media. Go to Metro News on Facebook and at Metro TV GH on Twitter. You can send us messages to the number 054-708-6939. This number will be displaying on the screen. Please do not call and use the hashtag Inside Pages to help us find your messages. Right now, though, let's go to the Metro Newsroom for the latest in Reporter's Blog.
The Fix the Country campaign in Ghana has topped the trends on Twitter for close to 3 days as part of efforts by some youth to hold government accountable for the general underdevelopment being realized in several sectors of the economy. The campaigners say the underdevelopment has compounded their lives and made life difficult for the average young Ghanaian to make a decent living. Dominant in the sentiments shared on Twitter on the state of the economy include the rising youth unemployment, the dilapidated health system, skyrocketing home renting structure, poor road networks, corruption, erratic power and water supply, amongst others. Our cameras caught up with some Ghanaians at their workplaces on the state of the economy and how their businesses are faring.
For country there, this time around, I don't know what is happening. President said, "Yetika sikasu akomdiye, enti oba akomdiye biom ba sisa ye unse no obekuye kra, enti sisi anu oman nu ye hun de ekọ by 4 years na wo enim ye bon pa ese nyakupo boaye, enye saari aban we de dakudada."
Things are not moving well. Things are very tough. When you sell, you put on market, people are not buying. People are complaining about money. Money is not in the system. Everything is too high. And day in, day out, they are increasing lorry fare. So we are all suffering. We beg the government to do something on us. We beg him.
I shared it in 4 years. I feel so another 4 years assassin. You who she uncos or minum, Yabatna say. Hey, na dia sania sesa ye ho asa kofie ye dress school fees ye light bill ne water bill bibia nsuo no kwa bi ma kane aso dum so nti na esa o ma na yetim no he fa na yete se Ghana ne wo no ye nim se wo he ba bi foforo so ye nim se se anu
in disregard for Ghanaian lives. An online petition has also been launched to aid this cause with nearly 2,000 signatories so far. World Press Freedom Day, observed every 3rd day of May, is a day set aside to analyze the critical
departments and agencies across the country. They have been receiving and responding to RTI requests from individuals, academic institutions, and corporate organizations. And before June is over, I will have the privilege of presenting the first annual RTI report to the Parliament of the Republic. And so the act is in full function.
The United States Ambassador to Ghana, Stephania Sullivan, urged journalists to be more ethical in their line of work.
As members of the media, all of you carry a huge responsibility to report the objective truth. You know it is essential to check your sources, do your research, check your facts. When one person claims to know what's going on, see if you can get confirmation. Seek a different perspective. Well-rounded stories that allow the public to hear all sides serve everyone better. Leave the one-sided reports and opinion pieces to the columnists and editorial page. Do follow-up reports to update the public on subsequent developments that might not be as headline-grabbing as a breaking news story. And speaking of headlines, for media outlets' credibility, I beg, use headlines that reflect the story and avoid clickbait.
The theme for this year's celebration was 30 years after the Windhoek Declaration, Information as a Public Good.
Illegal mining, popularly known as galamsey, has over the years destroyed most agricultural lands and polluted major river bodies that serves as a source of drinking water to some communities. After several calls to ban illegal mining, the President, Nana Akufo-Addo, announced his commitment to enforce strict measures to deter perpetrators from engaging in the act. On December 17, 2018, Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, the then Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, announced the end of a moratorium on small-scale mining after nearly 2 years in office. During this period, the government had developed a comprehensive framework to regularize and monitor the industry. Although the ban gave rise to a degree of controversy, the government policies are expected to benefit the long-term health of the mining sector by addressing the damaging and illegal activities. Recently, there have been moves by some military officials deployed by the government, banning and seizing all excavators said to belong to some individuals who engage in illegal mining. But will this deter these individuals from engaging in the illegal activities? And how far is the government willing to go in fighting Galamsey?
Ebeneze nyame obabonye kodu doctors wo operation na me hu ade card ya hwe bi ankasa ya ye be fem po check up ya akọ ya dinya so 500 million po no me echi card ya hwe bi
card ya hwe to bebre because e ka me sra ju kan ko se go jem 200 million ti ya kodo ho mu para kran po wo chwa
Welcome back. I want to introduce my guest to you, and then we'll go to the video wall to look at some interesting slides that a lot of young Ghanaians will relate to. Well, we'll be having on the show lawyer and Deputy Information Minister Designate Fatimatu Abubakar, also Amiru Nasiru, a youth activist. Joshua Boydo is a social media influencer and the initiator of hashtag Fix the Country, a hashtag that has been trending since last week, telling politicians that enough is enough and that they should fix the country. We also have blogger Ameyaw Debrah, Kobby, a socio-political blogger, and Ahiable-Brown Alfred. He has been unemployed for the last 5 years. We'll be having a conversation with him. But let's turn our attention to the video wall, and if we can put on display, we'll start with one of the biggest challenges the youth are facing, which is unemployment. So over here, unemployment rate refers to the share of the labor force that is without work but available for and seeking employment. So what are the numbers saying? Ghana unemployment rate for 2019 was 4.33%. That's what, 0.17% increase from 2018. In 2018, the rate was 4.16. In 2017, the unemployment rate was 4.22, and the unemployment rate for 2016 was 5.45. So if you look at this, from 2015 to 2017, it would appear as a decline, and in 2018, that seems to be increasing. So from 2018 is when there was a 0.17 increase to 2019. So it's interesting to find out why the rates declined for what? From 2015, and then 2018 to 2019, it's increased. Let's go to the next slide. Yes, and this is also we're staying with unemployment. So this is coming from the International Labour Organization, unemployment youth total. We're looking at people between the ages of 15 and 24. And this is from, I think, 1991, when it was somewhere between 7 and 8%. You come to somewhere around, a little around, what, 2000, a little after the year 2000, it goes above 16%. And then it drops. It drops to somewhere after 2005, to a little over 9%. Come back after 2015, and this will probably be 2018, which we were talking about, where there seems to be an increase. So this is what, above 14%. So what you see there with the arrow is 2019. The current figure for 2019, the ILO says, is 8.72%. Let's go to the next slide. Yes, and I think we've talked about unemployment. We've seen the figures. So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on to the bread and butter issues. Let's look at the cost of living, rent, food, and what have you. Excellent. So over here, we didn't just look at data. We also went to the market ourselves. So this is what, some nice tomatoes over there. We are assuming this is 1 kilogram tomatoes, and the cost is 19 Ghana cedis. And I think if you buy 5 cedis, that's about 3 or 4. Now, for a loaf of bread, it's 6 Ghana cedis. You're going to spend 6 Ghana cedis on a loaf of bread. And when it comes to the men, we all know men's shoes are very expensive and usually more quality. But a pair of men's leather business shoes in Accra is 286 Ghana cedis. Well, if you don't have a job, how are you even going to get shoes to wear to go for potential job interviews? So it's a lot of problems here. So this is we're looking at the costs of living in Ghana, and this is it. If you need to cook, I don't think you're going to spend anything less than 10 Ghana cedis to make some breakfast or some lunch. Let's look at the next slide. Do we have another slide? Yes. So this is rent in Ghana. The price of monthly rent for a 480 square feet furnished studio in an expensive area is what? In Accra is 4,525 Ghana cedis. And expensive areas will be deemed as the East Legons, the Jolus, etc. Now, if you want a neat chamber and hall at Adenta, you're going to be looking at 500 Ghana cedis, okay? And then neat chamber and hall at Amamfro is 300 Ghana cedis. Now, Adenta is not so far away from Amamfro, but it should tell you the different communities and the social status or the class that is associated, which also affects price. So this is what you're looking at for what? This is a studio, so this will be one person. If you have money, you're going to be spending 4,525 Ghana cedis. You can also consider Adenta, which is 500 Ghana cedis for a chamber and hall, similar in amount from 300 Ghana cedis. This is what young people are expected to cough up per month. And I think that's it. Is that the last slide? Yes, so this takes us back to the historical data, which I've taken us through. So this is the picture we are trying to paint with the situation that young people have to deal with. We'll get onto Zoom and have a conversation with a young man who has been unemployed for the last 5 years. We want to get into his life and try and understand how he's been living. His name is Ahiable-Brown, Alfred. Good morning to you, Alfred.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm well, and I'm very grateful that you've joined us. I'm actually very grateful because this is not something that is easy to talk about. As a young man, we found that not many people were willing to show their faces to come out and talk about being unemployed for a number of years because they were embarrassed. Good, you're here with me. But we appreciate this bold move that you're taking. Now, tell us, for the last 5 years, tell us the story about your unemployment.
Okay, so I've been battling with unemployment for a while now, 5 to 6 years now. The issue about unemployment in Ghana is very, very alarming. For example, trying to look for, I've tried every medium to get myself employed. I've tried teaching, I've tried writing, I've tried journalism, I've tried every field, laboring, everything I've tried, but to no avail. And it gets to a point where I remember some time ago I got myself into one employer who told me he was bisexual. So he told me, looking at the way I talk and then the way I act, he would like to have something to do with me before he gets me the job. So through that, I think he's been popular. He's a known person. So knowing that I'll move from one place to the other, he decided talk to his colleagues so they don't get me employed. So I've been trying my own writing where people from the universities, I take the assignments and then do them for them. So that's been my way of survival, getting money to survive. But talk of unemployment, it's been very, I have a lot of certificates. I have from GIJ, I have certificate from ICM, UK, but I've tried every means to get a job.
How old are you?
Any detail? I am 26.
You're 26, and you say you have 2 certificates.
Exactly.
Okay, what you've told us, is very heavy. Let's unpack it. Now, tell me about yourself. Do you live by yourself? Do you live with your family? Tell me about your life.
Okay, so I live with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My aged mom, she's 70 something. I wouldn't want to mention the exact.
She's a trader.
She's 70. Yes, she's a trader.
Okay.
So she currently has a shop in front of our house where she sells provisions. So she has currently been the one supporting me to get something to feed on. So I've been all by myself. I've by the support of some 1 or 2 family members, my big brothers, they have been supporting with some 1 or 2.
So your mom and your big brothers have been supporting you. I'm sure tomorrow being Mother's Day, you spend some time with your mom to thank her. But at some point, won't mom get tired?
Mom hasn't been tired because she has always been encouraging me. Most of the time, I remember some time ago, I just gave it up. I said, nah, I'm not going to do this. I wish I just wake up one day and then die. So she was like, no, you don't have to say it. There's a time to come where you get something to do. So just trust in the Lord, continue to trust in the Lord. So she has been my motivator. She has been the one. So in order not to have me do something bad to myself, she said, okay, then I'll give you this, I'll give you that, so that you feel okay, and then you hunt for other jobs. So she has been someone who has been holding me down to get me motivated, so I don't do anything bad, because it got to a point I was like, why then do I have to live on this earth whilst I've tried every means to get myself employed, but I'm not getting.
Was that the tipping point for you? You felt like leaving the world because nothing is working?
Yeah, exactly, because I remember I tried teaching. I worked for 4 or 5 months, no salary, and I was just sacrificing. Initially, I wasn't thinking about what I was going to get, but I was thinking about the impact I was going to make in the life of the children. So I realized the head of the school was trying to use me for his own personal gain. So I approached him and then told him, for the 5 good months, you've not paid me anything. So what is going on? He just told me, if I think I'm not okay with what he's doing, I can just pack my books and then go. So after that moment, I packed them and then left. So from there, I've been...
So it was mom's intervention. It was mom's intervention. Tell us, what's the name of your mom?
Josephine Amenyesia.
Josephine Amenyesia.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we want to say a big thank you to Josephine for not just bringing you into the world, but also supporting you even in difficult times. You yourself, say something to your mother.
Okay, I want to tell her I really love her. My brothers do love her. We all love her. She should just continue to love us as the way she loves us. She just continue to be she has been our prayer guide. She's the one standing in when it comes to prayer, because most of the time just feel discouraged to pray. She's been our prayer warrior. I'm telling her to continue to pray for us, and we are trusting in God that everything will move on smoothly for her. And I'm also praying that the Almighty God will give her the strength to continue to do what she's doing for us and then the entire family.
Very well. I hope she's watching. Mommy, we thank you for that. Now, Alfred, let's talk about the bits where you talked about, aside the exploitation you allude to, you also talked about a different kind of exploitation. It's what I will describe as sexual harassment. That somebody, an employer who was bisexual, had made some advances at you. How did that happen?
Okay, so I went job hunting on Facebook, and then I realized he needed some writers. So I told him I'm a good writer, and so he initially told me to come to his office, and then we write. So as we were talking, I realized he was acting funny. So I told him I would want to use the washroom, and then when I came back, he asked me if I was bisexual, and I told him, nah, I'm not. Probably he might think I act as one, but I am not. And then he told me he's interested in me. But when I agreed to his sexual advancement, he will promote me and then give me whatever thing I want. I told him I never. Then he told me, do I know him? I said I don't know him. And he said he has power in this country, so he can do something. And then I told him, it's not whatever thing that you say that's going to make me go in bed with you. And then that was where I left him. So I've met him severally. Sometimes I meet him at some programs and then we say hi to each other, but I'm not that kind of person that when you do any bad thing to me, I see you and then I ignore you. I say hi to you, but
you have a big heart.
I don't have any.
Very well. This is interesting because this would have been typical for women or girls, young ladies going out there and looking for jobs and being harassed or getting some kind of unwanted, unrequited sexual advances from male employers. But it happens that now men are not, exempt from this, and not even from female bosses, but also male bosses. Now, who did you tell when this happened? Did you confide in mommy?
I couldn't confide in mommy. I confided in my best friend.
Okay. And what did your best friend say?
So he told me I shouldn't even give him the gab. He told me whenever he tries that, I should insult him because he took my number. So he kept on calling, he kept on asking questions.
So he's been pursuing you since?
Exactly. So anytime he sends a message, I forward it to my best friend, and then he gives me the advice, because after that time, I didn't know what was actually going on with me.
Can I assume your best friend is male?
Yeah, he's male.
Okay, so that's why you didn't tell mommy. You wanted to tell somebody of the same gender that you could relate better to.
Mothers are too emotional that probably if I should have told her, if I should have told her, she would have done something else.
I understand.
Yeah, my dad is a policeman. He's a retired policeman. So probably she would have convinced my dad to do something silly. And I'm not that kind of person who would want to be like roaming about with this police issue and stuff. So I just told my best friend, and then he gave me the needed advice. I blocked the man, and that was all.
This best friend. You mentioned the support of this best friend. I want to know how it's been for you among your peers, people you finish school with. 5 years down the line, you still don't have a job. When you meet them, whether or not they have a job, how do you feel about not just your best friend, but your other friends, other school colleagues or former school colleagues?
Okay, so it's same with my best friend. We are all trying to get something to do. So it's not been easy. Most of the time when you meet your colleague who is working and then he asks you, what do you do? And then you tell the person, oh, I'm jobless, or I'm currently doing some 1 or 2 personal stuff. You feel like you aren't doing anything. You are late.
Hello?
Easy. You have nothing doing. But most people get the chance. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Carry on.
Most people get the chance right after school. They get a chance to work, while others also would have to go and hunt for jobs. So we may not be opportune to get the job, but we would have to hunt for them. So
is there any teasing that happens? Is there any teasing? Do they make you feel bad? Do they embarrass you for not having a job? Does any of those things happen?
Except especially on our school platforms, where someone will come, okay, I just left with my training. I just completed my training. I'm military. I'm now a fire service personnel. I'm this and that. And then they come trolling those who are unemployed, lazy. Even just yesterday, someone just came onto the platform and then started saying something silly. I just had to correct the person and tell the person all hands are not equal. And then when I give him a bit of what I have to give to him, and then I left the platform, because that demoralizes us from pushing ahead. So I just left
because the assumption is that you don't have a job because you are lazy. Is the assumption that you don't have a job because you are lazy?
Yeah, most people think if you don't have a job, you are lazy. Yes. Wow. And then some people think because we are not into entrepreneurship, finding something for ourselves, we are very lazy. But most people don't know you have to start with a capital.
Yeah.
So as I am good at catering. I can cook very, very well because I grew up staying with mom. Mom taught me how to cook. I can bake. I can DJ. With the DJ, I'm not perfect though. I can do some 1 or 2 steps, but it all boils down to the capital to start with. Yeah.
Well, so I see that you are telling us about your skills. Maybe you want to do that again. You don't know whoever is an employer that is watching and might see something in you. Tell us what you're good at, and don't limit yourself to just the formal education qualifications. You've talked about cooking, you've talked about DJing. So just summarize your skills. Somebody out there will be watching and can help you.
So I am good at cooking. I am good at writing proposals. I am good at writing letters and then speeches in case you want to have a program where you will be delivering a speech. I'm good at writing them for you. And then I'm good at working on Word, PowerPoint, Excel. I'm good at baking. I'm good at singing. In case you need a voiceover for your program, you need someone, a musician or a backing vocalist for your program, I am here for you. I can do all that.
Okay. So my final question to you is, what next for you?
Okay, so what next? I'm also working on. I've started saving, so I am working on getting enough to start my own business. But currently, I am going along with Brown's Writing Hub, where I write for people, as I said earlier. So I'm currently with Brown Writing Hub, where people call me, sometimes university students who don't get the time to...
Brown Writing Hub.
Assignment.
Is that what you said? Brown Writing Hub. Yes. So this is what? Is it on Instagram or Facebook? How can people find you if they need a writer?
Okay, so currently I'm not on Facebook or Instagram. I just started it. But initially, I started this without having the idea of creating it as a business, using it as a business. I just had colleagues who come to me and tell me, Brown, I want you to help me with this assignment. I'll give you 10.
Brown, so you know what? You know what? If you give us permission, we can share your contact, whether it is a phone number or an email, on our social media and tell people of the things that you can do so that if somebody needs your services, they can get in touch. My producer will speak to you after. So whether it's a phone number or it's an email that you want to give him so that we share with the rest of the world, we'll do that. But we are grateful to you for this bold decision and this bold move to speak to us all the way from Volta region. My greetings to the people of Volta region and all the best.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So that's Alfred Brown Ahiable. He's been unemployed for the last 5 years. He's been sharing with us his experience since then. This is Inside Pages. I'm Francisca Kakra Forson. We'll go to Ghana Moment, and we've got an interesting session for you today. So watch Ghana Moment, and then we'll continue with the rest of the conversation.
Prices keep changing every day from our suppliers. This stresses us a lot. We are not able to make sales. I have not made sales since morning. Prices of goods have really shot up, and this has affected my daily sales. I make less profits lately.
Normally, the prices of the goods weren't much. But now, today when you buy something, the next day you go, the price is increased. So when the buyers come to buy something now, they complain. Say, when the price was this, but today, price not sound kosher. And so at the end of the day, when you're supposed to sell like 100 cedis, the price, the sales reduces.
It has affected us in such a way that my profit has come down. It's not like previous days, you see, because of where I used to buy the bill. You go today, they will say there's increment of the bill. So you have to add like 100 cedis on it instead of previous ones. So you go, the moment that you take it, you go that you see that there's some increment, so you have to add another money. And you come to the market, you are where the customer will come and consume, because we go and buy the bill from somewhere, our wholesale, and you come to the market itself. You see, the person who is coming to buy from you, it's coming with the old price. So you come, Charlie, the thing has increased, so you return.
Everything make out for the system top. Every day, they increase thing. Every day, you see, the berry they take 920. Right now, it'll be 1,200. You see, it is expensive. Where the bill to nothing there, you see, now we know the gain. So make the government reduce things, give us. With the beg war. Right now, the system make card. Everywhere make tariff. Everywhere make tariff. Right now, the system make card. Every month we are in the increase things. It's not good. You see, it's almost reduce taxes in the mind. What am I say? I go for any to say. Uba chrome so market in fa. What am I say? Better than a boy says it's young skill group.
So we'll be moving to my guests in a bit. I'll start the conversation with Ameyaw, Debrah, a blogger. But right now, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have a chat with Ameyaw.
a little help? Nobody does it better. At UCS Facility Management, we give you the best in janitorial services, which include high-rise window cleaning, office cleaning, post-construction cleaning, facade washing, deep cleaning, carpet cleaning, swimming pool cleaning, and event janitorial services. Locate us at Jowolu, JA Plant Pool premises, or call us on 0501 666 322 or 0203 299 212 or 0203 299 234. UCS, your property is under our care.
Do not drop the awareness, the fight is still on. Constant disinfection is still very pivotal in the fight against COVID-19. Call an expert today on 020-300-4055 or 050-126-5426 to ensure your space is disinfected.
Welcome back, and we are joined via Zoom by celebrity blogger Ameyaw, Debrah, also a good friend. Ameyaw, good morning, and thanks for joining us on Inside Pages. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Our other guests, Joshua, Boydo, Kobby, they are struggling to come here because of the rains last night. We hope that they're well and we can connect with them via Zoom. But we are grateful to you, Ameyaw. I want to ask you a question. Okay, and I'm asking this question on an assumption that you and I will fall within the brackets of the youth. What the African Charter says, 15 to 35. Or the UN says 15 to 24. Ameyaw, that one I don't think we will fall under it, but we'll go with the African Charter.
We are getting old.
True. So for us as young people, okay, for you, how do you feel about the legacy that has been left for us? The baby boomers, these are the 57 plus going into the 70s. The Ghana they are leaving for us. How do you feel about it, looking around you?
Well, I think, honestly, it could have been better. I mean, we've come a long way, and we've seen growth in specific places, and then sometimes even those growths, we see that we're taking few steps back again. And so sometimes things happen and you'll be like, we shouldn't be rather retrogressing, we should be moving ahead. And it's always sad that basic things like water, electricity is still an issue. Even healthcare, having access to quality healthcare, or even just a bed to sleep on when you go to the hospital is becoming an issue for people. And as we advance, we would hope that development would also increase, and a lot of these issues, we wouldn't be facing it at the time that we are. So it's not a perfect legacy. A lot could have been done. Mm-hmm. And I think as a people, we need to look inward and outward to see really what is going wrong and have really pragmatic and real solutions to these issues rather than touching the surfaces and making it seem like we are doing so much. And even if we are doing so much, it's our job to do that. So we shouldn't sort of be happy with a little achievement that we chalk and always want to do more, speaking more specifically for those in government. So yes, in a nutshell, that's what I would say.
Now, I want to get a bit personal. There's an interesting story behind how you became a celebrity blogger. I know it's a long story. I've heard it in several places outside you. But given that you're on my show today, I want you to just do a recap because it's an interesting and inspiring story behind how Ameyaw Debrah became a renowned celebrity blogger who spends his holidays in South Africa with celebrities. But seriously, tell us the story.
It's an interesting story, and although from afar somebody may see it as it's been easy, it's not. I think it started when I won the award in KNUST for Best Publishing Student. And as part of the award, which was sponsored by a magazine, I had the opportunity to do my national service with the magazine. So I started, and around that time, the internet was also buzzing. So while doing that, I was looking around for opportunities to contribute to different platforms online. And I got a few, especially those outside of Ghana. So they were not paying, but I was building that connection and relevance on the various platforms. And fast forward, I had the opportunity to join a project based in Netherlands, Africa Voices, that sort of took it a new level. And with my work for them via africanews.com, Ghana Web also saw it. They came, wanted me to do content editing for them. And then in between, I also launched my website. And so at the point I was doing so much on the internet space, and I had to make it all sort of add up. So it was important for me to create that unique identity and grow online. And with the growth of social media, I always find myself right in the thick of things, keeping people updated, asking questions, sharing experiences, and it grew from strength to strength. And it may sound simple because the timelines, so many things happen at different times, but for me, I think at the end of the day, it all came together, and with my personality, my determination to make something out of what I was very passionate about. I remember I had to make a very difficult decision when the owner of Ghana Web came to Ghana and heard that my website was on every show, media partner, and then he got worried. It's like, why am I hiring this person, paying him, and then his website is also becoming a competitor? So now there was some sort of conflict of interest, and they gave me the ultimatum either to quit the job or they buy me into Ghana Web, so it would be like Ameyaw Debrah, but Ghana Web, and so many options. But I took that difficult decision because, mind you, around that time, Ameyaw.com was popular, but it wasn't a revenue-generating thing. But I was passionate. I was like, this is something that I'm building. This is my own Ghana Web. Why don't I own it and face whatever difficulties may come? So I took that difficult decision, and I think looking back, I haven't regretted. It's grown from strength to strength, and yes, that's what I was saying, and that's about the journey.
And I'm sure this journey looks good today, but there were the downs, obviously.
Oh yeah.
What were some of the challenges, and how did you keep yourself going?
I mean, one funny thing is, just a few weeks after I left Ghana Web, and then I have an email from Google saying that they have activated my AdSense, which was like the only way I could make money on my website then. And I had just left this job with so much vim and vigor that I'm going to build this, and then few weeks I'm hit with that challenge. But with that, also made me sit up and say, hey, what I'm doing is now my bread and butter, and so I should find other ways to make money. And so then I now started charging a token for some of the things that promotions I would be doing in the past for free. And then there's also the challenge of just making money regularly, because even now, if you look at what I do and what other people do, the others, most people make money from their traffic because they do almost everything, and that gets the traffic where they can make some money from all these platforms. But I am not so traffic driven, and how we make our money is from people who truly believe in what we are doing, and they advertise directly to us. And so sometimes we're not getting enough of those adverts coming in. But thankfully, again, we've gone through a curve or a growth where in the past, people were not so keen on digital advertising, marketing, etc. But all of that is picking up. Companies, businesses, and even individuals are seeing the need to do business online, to promote their businesses online. And so when that happens, the likes of us also are well positioned to now get some advertising from them. And a lot more of that is happening now, even more around the COVID period to now than in the previous year. So I think it's a digital journey that we must all take. Those of us in the creating the businesses for ourselves, and those who
Ameyaw.
are also, hello.
Yes, let me interrupt you a bit. When is the Ameyaw book coming? Ameyaw Debrah book, when is it coming?
It's coming soon. I wanted to write it myself, but it will be difficult because I have a lot of things to doing now. So
get your PA to do it.
So a friend in Nigeria who has been writing, publishing for people, we are planning, he's assigning a writer to me. So I think the writer will send a set of questions for different chapters, and then we'll be able to put it all together. And hopefully we'll be able to contribute further to what we are having.
You've emerged as an inspiration for a lot of young people. In a bit, I'll be introducing a youth activist, Amiru Nasiru, to you. But Ameyaw, what I want for you to talk about before I go to her is, for you, technology was sort of your saving grace. You know, it got you in Ghana Web. There was a difficulty at Ghana Web, and then you AdSense, you got some money from AdSense, so you were able to move on or turn that difficulty into a blessing. How can the young people of Ghana take advantage of technology? And this is in a certain context where we refer to them as Indomie generation, who are always on their phones doing nothing. But really, what can they do with the technology that is as easy as in their hands, in their palms? What can they do?
Exactly. And I think we've been, out of all the challenges that we face as a generation, we are lucky. We have technology, and we have platforms that sort of even the playing field for everybody. So you can be in Ghana and you're competing with somebody in Nigeria, in the US, etc. So it's important for us to grab that. So for me, technology, especially social media, has come to play. Whatever it is that you are selling, you can get online, you can get on the various social media platforms, find what works for you based on the kind of business you are bringing up. Each platform gives you different sort of opportunities, and they all have their strengths and weaknesses. So tap into all of these, know what works for the kind of business you are doing, get the feedback, get the right networking, the right clientele, and all of that. Technology allows you to. And now there's options of various payment platforms. You can do something and somebody can pay you from the UK via mobile money. So all of these things is opening things up, and people should now your market is not just the person, your next door neighbor. It's the world, and people should have the young people should think around that, and especially those in the creative space. This is the platform where this is the time where we are able to go beyond boundaries and get attention for our craft. And it may sound easy, me saying it, but it does take, basically the platform is there. And so that is the first introduction. If it wasn't there, then it becomes even more difficult.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not like you get online right now and you are going to sell immediately. There are competitors, you have to prove yourself, and a lot of other things will go into place. But bottom line is the technology exists, the platform exists. So go on there and gradually grow with it. And I believe in my heart of hearts that there's an opportunity out there for every young entrepreneur to sort of find and discover himself.
Very well.
And get people on board. Yeah.
Very well. I'll hold the line there. We'll be talking about the Fix It Now campaign. We'll look at it broadly. We'll look at the Arab Spring. We'll look at the Sudan protest led by women. We'll look at how all of these activism or campaigns by young people probably started on social media and then went into real life, whether or not they've been able to yield the post-protest effects. We'll talk about that. But let me come to Amira Nasiru. Yes, Amira Nasiru is a youth activist. Good morning and thanks for joining us. Yeah, turn on your mic, please. Great. It's still not on. Yes. So first, tell us about yourself.
Hi, good morning to your cherished viewers and listeners. My name is Amira Nasiru, a youth activist and attained vice president in UPSA.
So what have you been doing that makes you identify yourself as a youth activist?
Well, I've been on top of issues, and then I have led some youth. Well, a youth activist is somebody who takes upon themselves like duties to.
Which is what you're doing in Tain.
Yes.
You said what, vice president?
Yes.
Okay, so how did you get to that and why?
Why?
Yes.
Because I feel like I have the competence and there was a need to serve my party.
Okay,
yes.
But beyond party, do you have any ambitions that will be in line with serving your country?
Yeah, I do. In some time to come, I hope to be on top of issues in the country, like making, formulating stuff.
Policy.
Yes.
So that this position with Tain will be your training grounds for the future.
Not entirely, because, well, you have to work on yourself. You have to do other things, not just Tain. Well, but Tain is also doing much in my life.
Okay.
But aside Tain, there are other things you should do also.
Okay, for you as a young person in Ghana, I'm sure you are aware of the currents or the trends that have been going on with the Fix the Country or Fix Ghana Now campaign on social media. What do you think? First of all, what do you think about it?
I think that it's a very good initiative. It's positive. It needed to happen, especially at this time when things are not going so well in our country. We have a country where we pay taxes, but our roads are bad, our hospitals are bad, everything. Like, the systems in this country are just not working. So I feel like it's that time, the youth in this country, moreover...
But it's been like that for a long time.
Yeah, that was what I was about to say. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's been like that, but I feel like this time there's an awakening and consciousness, not just looking at the people engaged in this campaign. When you look at the key people in this campaign, you do not really know if they are affiliated to any political party, because if you follow the kind of things they do, you know that they are just on top of national issues. It's not because they belong to party A or party B.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you are paying rent, it doesn't matter what political party you belong to. If you are paying for the 9 peso increased fuel, petrol or diesel,
your party,
it doesn't matter.
It affects every Ghanaian. So there's a need that we all come up and then try to advocate so that things are being done well. Because I feel like the systems are just not working, and we are fed up.
I'm excited that you're a young woman in Ghana. When you look at this country, how old are you? Or you don't want to disclose that? I'm assuming you're in your 20s. When you look at this country and you look at the things going around, and I was telling you, it's been like this for a long time. Bad roads, high cost of living. How do you feel with the Ghana that has been handed to you? How do you feel as a young woman in Ghana?
Well, a few days ago, I was telling a friend that I wasn't so happy. I want to lead this country one day. But then, like let's say a year ago, I wasn't so happy because I look back and I'm like, are these the kind of people I am going to be leaders to? Because everyone was just quiet. Things were not going right, but everyone was just quiet. But when there are a few that are good though, but when I started looking into things, and then with this particular campaign, looking at the people on board, I know that they've been there. Maybe they just decided not to say anything about it, or it wasn't that time, or they were not prepared. I just feel like they are just fed up with things. So there's a need to speak out.
Are you fed up?
Yes, I am fed up.
What makes you feel that you're fed up?
Because I live in a country where I pay water bills, but I don't have access to water. You pay, the bills come, and then for like 1 month you do not have water. So then what are you paying the bills for? This same country is a country where I am not employed. People are not employed. People do not have jobs. So if I do not have a job and I have to pay for water and still buy water, I will get fed up. If I do not have a job and I have to pay maintenance fee for my car because the roads are bad, I will get fed up. So there are a lot of things that we are fed up about. A lot of youth are fed up about. We are just tired. We feel like the system should work. The leaders should listen to us. They should be on their feet, because it's just too much.
Okay, Ameyaw, Debrah was just talking about or giving some advice to young Ghanaians about how they can leverage technology to improve their lives, especially in these difficult times. We've been looking at unemployment rate as well earlier in the show, and I spoke to a gentleman who's been unemployed for the last 5 years. Is it something that, before we get to even his advice, is it something that you worry about, because you're still in school, no?
I do. I think 2 days ago I said on Xylophone FM that our education sector should be looked at. There should be a lot of reforms and a lot of changes, because we have a system where everything is just too theory-based, right? If there's more practicals, people have even cracked jokes about it and said that when you go to countries like China, and it's actually the truth, countries like China and others, their students do more of the practicals. So like their countries move on very well and all of that. So I feel like in Ghana, we should take our practical side very serious, because you go to school and the kind of things you learn, you come out of school and it can't employ you. You cannot do anything with it. Even in the university, you go to school and go and read political science.
You're reading dead theories.
Exactly. It's just too much. So they should include more of the practicals, I feel like, and then it will take a long time to get these things in place. But everybody starts from somewhere. So if we start from today, then the future will be bright and exciting.
Okay, I want to bring in Ameyaw, Debrah on this. And as I said, this show today is dedicated to young people in Ghana. Ameyaw, what did you study in the university? And is that what you are using to earn a living?
So in a way, it's linked. I studied BA publishing, but it was more around book making. But fortunately, in my year, in the final year, they decided to bring in also e-publishing, which was like just one course that they introduced. So for me, it's applying those principles that I learned, but in a different sort of medium, which is different from what I studied. So I'm not entirely out of place in terms of what I learned in school and what I'm practicing now. Yeah.
Well, I didn't study journalism, but here I am. But this is interesting. It's interesting that we are talking about aligning formal education with, the requisite skills and talents, etc. But Ameyaw, so it brings me to something I said initially. We constitute a group that is very much affected by policy decisions. Yet our voices don't appear to be heard, or the voices of young Ghanaians don't appear to be heard. So this will not be the first time we're sitting and having a conversation about how the education system, formal education, is very vague and theoretical and not as much practical as would be required to make graduates competitive. Why are we still having this conversation? And is there hope we'll stop at any point? Meaning that things would have changed?
I hope so. I think it's structures and institutions. The educational sector has been sort of formulated in that way, and we haven't had any major change. And all the other changes have been quite superficial and not addressing some of these core things. And unless there's that major overhauling, we will still be stuck in. But I'm sure whoever does it is going to face opposition at least for the first 2 or 3 or 4 years of whatever changes they bring in. But it's important that we fashion our education to reflect what the times are, and perhaps it should start even as early as from the primary school right through to junior high. So I don't know how it's going to change, but there is that need that we change the way we've been learning over the last 60 years and above. It's important that we do that. And I'm hopeful that it may happen, but it takes all of us demanding it. It takes bold decisions from people in the education sector to say that this is what we need, and then they push for those to be implemented. I hope it will happen. But I think as young people, it's also important that we find what we are passionate about and try to create our own sort of little businesses or employment around them. Again, the last time I did the poll where I had over 60% of the respondents saying that the employment was an issue for them. We have to be realistic. The government cannot also employ everybody. There's not enough space. Every year, new people are coming out of the universities, and it's almost impossible for the government to consistently employ everyone that comes out. So entrepreneurship is key, and the government, of course, has to make it easy in terms of have an environment that young people can have access to. If they need some loan facility, they go for it, or whatever the financial thing that they can assist them.
I want to make an intervention. Sometimes you engage employers, and they also have some complaints that I think we should not disregard. Or we should have a conversation about. They also complain that aside the fact that the labor or the people have not been properly trained coming out of the universities and what have you, they also don't have the right attitude to work, and they have highfalutin expectations. They want to be paid in their first year 1,500 Ghana cedis. They want credit allowance. They want fuel allowance, and for them as employers, there are no guarantees. Is this reasonable? Is this concern that employers have reasonable?
Oh, it is very reasonable. I mean, again, under my post, a lot of people have had a lot of experiences to share of people they've employed and they've not pulled their weight and all of that. I mean, those are realities. But I think sometimes, especially for newbies, when you enter a space, you have expectations and all of that. But I think there should be the understanding that this is my first job, I'm new here, I'm going to grow into it, get better, and the expectations get narrowed based on the realities of the job that I'm doing and all of that. But it's important that when we get opportunity, we pull our weight. That way, it becomes even a good example for. I remember when I was in school, I did industrial attachment. I did industrial attachment at the University of Ghana Press. And when I went there, the group that I was there with, we made such an impact that they were now open to have more people come and do attachment and etc. with them. So I think when we get the opportunity, we have to pull our weight and make it a good case so that the employee or the employer would know that these people can deliver. Let's go for more of them.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want us now to transition to the hashtag which has been trending from what I think last weekend, Fix the Country Now. That a lot of celebrities and bloggers joined this. The initiator, Joshua Boydo, also known as Kyei, will be joining us. He's being delayed because of last night's rains, but I'm sure Kobby will also be connecting with us in a bit. Ameyaw, you've also been part of this Fix the Country Now campaign on social media. Let me read this message and then I will get into that conversation. This person says, government asked us to support them, and we did. We supported them. Therefore, the youth of Ghana are saying, fix the country now. And so you must fix the country now. This is the question that I want to ask. How has the hashtag, or how has fix the country now been this week? What is your appreciation of it? Has it died down a bit, or the momentum is still on?
I think the momentum is still on. It's happening. And what I try to do is also introduce new dimensions to it. I think yesterday I tried to bring fix the systems, and just so that it's not so much about just the hashtag, but the discussions. We should find different ways of pointing it out. And I think the impact is there. You can see government trying to react, also putting in their messages here and there. So it shows you. And conveniently within the same space, CNN gives our president an interview and all of that. People are listening. It is going far. People are paying attention. And so even if the momentum is seen to be dying out, it's not entirely, because the impact is still being felt where it should be felt. And
before I get to Kobby, I want to ask you this. A lot of celebrities, joined the bandwagon and were sharing the tweets very actively. Why will they be doing this? And I'm asking this because we've seen them do that before as celebrities. There's an expectation that their lives aren't so bad. So tell us why.
Well, for me, if they're doing it sincerely, I'm all for it. But if they also just want to do it and be in the trends and be known for just saying it, then for me, I think it's on the wrong footing.
But how will we know?
All of us. So sorry?
How will we know?
We wouldn't know, but inwardly they should know. So if they know they are doing it just to tag along, then, well, it's up to them. And I've also seen a lot of people fighting people to force them to come out. And then I think I made a tweet that all of that is not real. It's something. People must add their voice to complement it, and it shouldn't be just because of a hashtag that is trending. It must be a discussion that is real, that progresses. So yes, but I think it's important that
and we are hoping to get Fatimatu Abubakar, the Deputy Information Minister Designate, to join this all-important conversation among young Ghanaians, to listen to their concerns and hopefully influence policy. But we are not getting here. We'll still keep trying. I don't know if it's because of the rains, but we'll keep trying and bring these policymakers into the conversation. Let me now join Kobby on Zoom. Kobby is a socio-political blogger. Hello, Kobby. Good morning. Do we have Kobby on?
Hello.
Yes, Kobby.
Yes.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry for not making to join you guys in the studio.
We understand, and we actually appreciate that you've volunteered to do this via Zoom. You agreed to come to the studio and you couldn't make it because of the rains. But I hope that you're safe and everything is okay where you are.
Very safe. My roads are bad, so I'm just hoping that they fix it.
Well, on the score of the bad roads, let's get into the Fix Ghana Now conversation. So that will be one of the things that the young people are concerned about, bad roads. Because if you have a car, that's going to mean that you'll be doing your servicing quite frequently, no?
Exactly.
So how has it gone for you? I think on Wednesday you were here in Metro TV. We had a conversation about Fix the Country Now, the hashtag. There was another hashtag, Black Tuesday or something of the sort, just to commemorate. There's a protest ahead, that's tomorrow, which the High Court is barring from happening. How is all of this? How are you taking all of this? Because you've been very active in this.
Again, good morning. And I think that so far so good. Everything is moving as we expected, because for you to raise concerns of any issue happening in a country, you need to communicate. First of all, communicate. And it starts from somewhere. It should be a conversation. And so I'm happy that we started the whole conversation on social media. Now, because we are in a digital space and social media is very powerful. And so we're putting out our message online, and I'm sure a lot of people were saying it. And we thank God that it came to the courtesies of our leaders. And we've seen some response from some MPs, some DCs, from all courtesies. BBC and all major media houses in Ghana are also reporting it. So I think that we are taking it in a good faith. We are happy that we've raised concern. But until we get to the solution, and that's the most important thing, we'll raise the alarm and make the noise and all that, but the impact should be felt. That's the bottom line, because if we make the noise and tell our leaders that this is some of the things that we need to be fixed and we don't get to the bottom line, that'd be a major problem. But I'm sure that the conversation is still going on, and we are looking forward to having a day where we'll have like a proper conversation, where the leaders will write us have a proper conversation to this effect.
Well, so how are you going to get the impact to be felt? Here you are, you started this on social media. Some of us traditional media are giving you the platform. Hopefully policymakers will be watching and listening and will want to do something. But how are you going to get them really to get to feel this impact or get to work on the impact that you desire?
Thank you so much. So one of the things that I'm sure that for me, I've been sad for a moment, because I noticed that the politicians are trying to capitalize on it from parties. Parties, NDC and all the other parties are trying to capitalize on it. This is not, I've seen a headline which says that NDC are putting in money for us to make all this noise. This goes far beyond MPP NDC. This is just the youth of Ghana voicing out, saying that one party from the other always come, they come in power and they promise us that this is what they're going to do, but at the end of the day, they don't do it. So what I'm really hoping and looking forward is that the presidency will invite some youth. Some of us who are really coming out, the likes of Ameyaw, let's have a proper discussion. Because over the years, if you've checked the record, hardly, I don't remember the last time from the presidency, they had a national youth forum where they had a discussion to know from where we sit, what is really wrong with us, what can we do? Because mind you, if you don't have a discussion, the leaders are there, but we then need to understand where we are coming from. If you are going to have a policy for the youth and you don't have as part of the discussion or in making the decisions, at the end of the day, these leaders will go and we will come to occupy the space. And so the decisions that they take for us, or they are taking for us, with that our concern, is this something that is going to help us? That's the major question. So they need to sit us down. They need to involve the youth from all quarters. They should go to the rural areas, select people from the district level.
Kobby, who will? So you are asking for an audience with the president or the ruling group or class. Who, in terms of the youth, is going to be sitting down with the president or the executive? Who is going to do this? Because you're on social media and your leadership isn't really clear, or do you have some leadership that's going to do this?
So the whole conversation has started. I mean, anytime you want people to speak, you know who to call. You call myself, Kyei, Ameyaw, Debrah. There are a lot of people, but I just wanted to center. I don't want them to center it, even those in Accra. Let's start from the district level. There are youth leaders from the district level, regardless of your affiliation. Let's not say that this person is an NDC youth or MPP youth, so let's invite the person. So far as the person is a vibrant youth from every district, let's invite from the district level up to the national level. Let's invite people. You understand? I'm sure if there's going to be a youth forum, I am definitely sure that the government of Ghana will have people representing from each protest to meet the president.
Very well. Tomorrow's protest, this is a question I would have loved to put to Kyei, but he's still not here. Tomorrow's protest, okay, seems to, how do you call it? It appears that there's going to be water poured on it because there's an order from the High Court that's prohibiting the planned demonstration that would have gone with this hashtag. There's been an indication that from those behind the hashtag, yourself included, that this protest will still go on because you believe that it is not in breach of what the law says. But won't this be a typical response, yes, or feedback, yes, but to sort of prevent or silence or make your action diffuse it?
Thank you. I think that there's a lot of conversations going on, and from where I sit now, I've not heard any news with regards to. I mean, I would have loved to hear from Kyei, but I've not heard any news with regards to we hitting on the street, regardless of, I mean, what the government is saying. I think
just before you carry on, if my producer can project the statement he put on his Twitter. But Kobby, carry on, please.
So I think that collectively, like I said, I would love to hear from Kyei. I don't know whether he tweeted that out of, I mean, I don't know. But I think that collectively, if we all want to achieve this whole campaign and this whole process, we need to come together to know. I mean, we can't disrespect the government, their laws in Ghana. And so I'm hoping that, and I also tweeted yesterday that even putting the demonstration aside, social media is very powerful. The digital space is very powerful. And so I am not sure that we will still go on to hit the street, but I want the government of Ghana to look through some of our pleas, the tweets and all these ideas coming from the youth of Ghana to really see how best we can collectively solve this issue. I mean, because if you go on the streets and we go make the noise, at the end of the day, are we still going to achieve, are we going to get the end goal? You understand?
So that's yes, go on.
Or you are not hitting the street. The bottom line is that we all, I think they have to listen to our voice and have a proper way, because they are leaders. If you're a son or your daughter and you are misbehaving, your dad or your parents have to call you. You understand? So we are really hoping that the government of Ghana wouldn't see this just as a noise making. They should see the impact of all the end point, what we are trying to achieve, so that at the end of the day, we can collectively come together to solve this issue.
Now, I'm going to go into the future. Okay. Yes, you do get this audience with the government, whether the president or members of the executive. You tell them your challenges, some of which unemployment, rent, generally cost of living, food, etc., fuel prices going up, new taxes coming in. You put these things before them. Can you itemize specifically what it is you expect to see change? So would you expect that they would reduce petrol prices, they will take away the taxes that have already, kicked in? What are the practical changes you're expecting to see?
Thank you. Now, I've seen commentaries that fix yourself and fix your attitude and all that. Let me highlight some few things that if the government of Ghana is listening, will really help. I mean, from the practical point of view and from whichever angle. I think that there should be a developmental plan in building the minds of the ordinary Ghanaian. from the education level, because we as youth are growing up, how are they building ourselves mentally? Because visually, audio, like there are a lot of things happening. How are they consciously building our mindset to be self-disciplined and to be self-responsible? That is one. Again, one of the things that they need to do regards to like the unemployment rates.
Mm-hmm.
You wake up as a youth, you go to university. They tell you that go to university, go to school. After school, there are a lot of jobs out there. Now, after going to the university and completing your national service, you go to a lot of workplaces and they tell you that you need 5 years experience, you need 7 years experience. And we ask ourselves as youth, practically, where are we supposed to go to gather these experiences? We don't have anywhere to go. So there should also again be a lot of job available for the youth. These days, the youth are very creative. When you move to the creative art sector, fashion, texture, a lot of things are happening. Are the government giving us, again, enabling environment for us to be able to, even with the small businesses that we are doing? Let's not even talk about those who are even employed in the government sector. Those of the youth who are energetic and have also started a small business, the taxes on it, is it helping us? Are they giving us the enabling environment? Because mind you, if I'm selling this pen for 5 cedis, there should be some enforcements or there should be some law that when you go to every supermarket, if you go to every corner, every length and the breadth of this country, if you are selling pure water for 2 cedis, it should be 2 cedis everywhere.
Let me take you back to what you said about what would seem as unreasonable demands from employers, that you should have, what, 2 years experience, 5 years experience, Kobby. How about meeting the employer halfway? Volunteer your time, your service. How about that? You might not get paid immediately, but you might learn a few skills.
I think people are doing that already, and you and I understand. You know that a lot of Ghanaians are doing that. A lot of Ghanaians are doing that. So in the bigger picture, to the government level, what are they also doing to support? You understand?
Yes. Let me read a few messages. Hold on, Kobby. Let me just read a few messages. This is on Twitter, at Yao Daniel tweets at us. He says, anyone who thinks the palpable anger of hashtag fix the country now will go away simply by tagging it with NDC is deluding themselves. A look at hashtag name and shame should tell the watchful eye that many have had enough. The old tricks of splitting the front through politics ain't working. And you mentioned something about allegations or claims that NDC was given some funds for this this hashtag protest, or on social media, the protest on social media. I think you sought to reject the claim, but it is not unreasonable to expect that the biggest opposition party will latch on. How really are you dealing with this? Are you just going to say they should get off and do their own protest, or you welcome them as also Ghanaians going through the same things?
I mean, we welcome them to be part of every conversation that is happening. And yesterday, I saw a lady who was holding her MPP card, actually voicing out bitterly and trying to show to Ghanaians that regardless of her political affiliation, she still feels that there are a lot of things that needs to be fixed. The conversation shouldn't be around NDC and MPN. MPP should do this, NDC. The conversation should go just beyond political party. The conversation should be about you as a Ghanaian. Now, let's put Ghana first in this conversation. Let's not put NDC, MPP first in the conversation. Because when we put MPP and NDC first, we are going to shift the focus. And mind you, when the MPP was in opposition, you heard Honorable Kennedy Japon saying that the president, when he was at opposition, was saying that NDC should fix it. You understand? So now I want it to be like...
They are birds of the same feather, some will say.
Exactly. Yes. So we should address the issue as Ghanaians. You as Ghanaian, what are we leaving to the next generation? The
Very well,
Kobby and all these great people came to do their own. So what are we doing?
Kobby, let me bring in Ameyaw, Debrah. And Ameyaw, I want to ask you about how much the political colorings take away from, a protest by young people, Ghanaians who don't care whatever the party is in power. They just want certain things fixed. Tell us.
Yes, I mean, that coloring dilutes what the real message is. Because, like we said, in my area, the roads are bad. When I drive on it, it's bad. I don't have to be MPP or NDC to experience it any differently. And a lot of people want to voice out things. And already we've politicized everything in the country so much that people sometimes don't even want to say this, because when they do, they will be tagged as MPP or NDC, and it would affect perhaps their business or something else. So they'll hold back. So for me, it's important that we shouldn't allow the parties to come in, and they are doing it. I see them. Sometimes I make a tweet and I realize that the way people are responding is as if they've copied that tweet and they've put it in a WhatsApp group of their supporters, because they come in drones to come and give response. And that's what happens. And it's unfair, but realistically, like you said, we cannot remove them from it. It's like an opportunity for them to also campaign and say that you did the wrong thing by voting for this person.
The funny thing is that some of them are young people who will be going through the same thing anyway, but would come at you.
Exactly. And sometimes, every now and then, you see me Twitter. I wonder how much they pay these people on both sides for them to be that vicious and so.
But you see, that will bring us back to the unemployment problem, because then that becomes the person's livelihood and they are loyal to it. It's a whole cycle.
Even in the issue of employment, you realize that even whenever ideally, when they create some sort of thing that would help the youth, immediately they will pull in from their party and let the young people in their party go and benefit that kind of job opportunity that has come. So everything has been so politicized that even HIV, there's an NDC version and there's an MPP version. And unless we as a people say that we've had enough and we are not going that way, then there's room for it to be politicized all the time, and that is what's going to happen. And it's sad that a lot of the young people are allowing themselves to be used for that.
Let me bring in Amira. She's a youth activist with Tain of the NDC. So on this score, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but on this score, do you think that it matters? And you've indicated that it doesn't. But in the situation that we find ourselves, we see that a lot of the same young people who are the most affected by policy decisions and political decisions, etc., will be not only defending, but going after, people who will be speaking. And it happens with both political parties, and you happen to be in it. So maybe you can shed some light on that.
Well, before we move on, Ameyaw-Debrah, I'd like to. Ameyaw-Debrah lives on the same street with me. I want to know how well he's used his platform to at least, make sure something is...
I wouldn't want a banter. I would just want you to speak to the question.
No. I get it, but I just want to have an understanding so that I could really understand everything. But, well, let's move to your question.
Let me answer that. I think I am the kind that I share my experiences, and the best way of speaking is to share your experiences. Everything that has happened in this road, you will probably find a tweet or a video that I've posted some months back, some years back, talking about that issue. And maybe you didn't say it, so you think that I haven't said it. But I'm the kind that if I have light up today, I'm making a tweet. I'm making past. I'm putting on.
Ameyaw,
so I like to share.
Ameyaw, point well made. But I was hoping that you guys wouldn't banter. So that we'll just have a conversation that will be rid of.
It's not going to be a banter. I just want to give the example.
Very well. But that's the question I want to ask you. Yes. the same youth, okay, yeah, between what, 15, 24, 15, 35, whichever you like, we are all going through this together. That's the understanding. But you would find that some people who will be associated or affiliated with a political party will be attacking anybody who speaks against their party.
Okay. So when yesterday they started a name and shame hashtag. If you look at Twitter accounts that are known to be NDC, you realize that they are not quiet about it. They are speaking against NDC strongholds, constituencies where there are problems, and the MPs are NDC, right? You see retweets of NDC accounts of these issues. So one cannot say that, well, it happens mostly like me. Sometimes when I tweet, some people come at me. I do not know the reason for that, and I do not understand. I do not care either. But personally, I don't go after anybody because the person has tweeted against the NDC government.
Let me tell you what I'm getting at, and I'll make it simple, so that it appears that young people are experiencing these problems, but the same young people have been divided into groups to be affiliated with certain political parties, to now be fighting among themselves when they have a bigger problem of unemployment, high cost of living to deal with. So doesn't that defeat a certain purpose that you would have had as a young person to put pressure on the political elite to fix your problems when you are busy doing the compare and contrast? And that's why I stopped you in your tracks, and I didn't want Ameyaw to respond to you did this, I did that, because then that would be defeating the bigger and the broader picture of we have challenges, you people need to fix it.
They are very objective people. If it is wrong, it is wrong, right? I do not know about others, but for the ones I know about, and the truth is that everybody's affiliated to a political party. Nothing can be done about that. It is
You don't think there are people who do not care whatever party is in power? Will not vote for any particular party?
There are a handful of such people, but how many are they? That's the question. How many are they? Right?
But that becomes the bedrock of the problem, because we've got these affiliations. We begin to focus on a certain in-group of my political party as against the fact that I'm a young Ghanaian and I'm suffering.
Just as I said, if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Would you have the same position if John Mahama was the president now?
Well, if John Mahama is the president and there are no jobs, we tell him there are no jobs. You have to create jobs. If John Mahama is the president and the roads are bad, the roads are bad. You cannot hide the fact that the roads are bad. If I come to this show and there's, let's say, an MPP person here, he's going to put it to me that the roads are bad. He could show me picture and video evidence. What am I going to do about it? So if it is wrong, it is wrong. There's no need to hide behind any political party to defend it. And the truth is that when John Mahama was president, there were people in the NDC who still said that, look, this thing is not going well, so something should be done about it. It hasn't started today. It won't end today. This is not the first time. And then with the issue of the political party affiliations, right? I feel like this time, especially with this Fix Yourself campaign, it is beyond politics. I have said that I do not want anybody to politicize this, because the name and shame hashtag.
Good point to end. It is beyond politics. Yes. I like that. Let me bring in Ameyaw here. Ameyaw, and this is very important to me. The conversation, just the question that I put to her, that it would appear that would be a political tactic to get the youth themselves to be warring, in quotes, against each other, instead of warring against the political leadership.
Exactly, and it's important for the youth who know they have a real issue and they want it fixed to be the loudest. Those bringing in the politics, we should ignore them. We should be smart enough to read between the lines and know who has been sent to diffuse whatever or to sort of escalate it, and then let the real messages that we are feeling come out. And for me, we have to politically mature as individuals in order to go. I mean, fix the country now, fix the country. We don't expect it to happen today or tomorrow, but it's something that should start. And it starts with the government accepting that, yes, these issues are there, and not coming to defend it that, hey, we've done this, they did that. So for me, from the government side, if they really want to let us know that they are fixing it or want to fix it, they must accept that what the youth in general are saying is true, and they are ready to work in whatever way to fix it. I haven't seen them accept a lot of it, and so every day is like you have to fight. And if these people really want us to know that they are going to work toward, at least they must give us that sort of closure that they've accepted that the issues that we're talking about are real, they're not political, and then we move on from that.
Kobby, I'll take a quick comment from you, and then I'll bring in some social media messages. Is Kobby on?
Yes, I'm on.
Yes, Kobby, quickly. So this bit about the youth turning around to fight among themselves because of the political parties they belong to, instead of targeting their energies at the government.
What I'll say is that I'll still have to pick it up from the leadership point of view, because they are up there and we are down here. So what they have to do as leaders is not, because some of the hashtags, I know that intentionally they've gathered their youth to come to counter the hashtags. And I feel that
that's an allegation. You've not brought any evidence to substantiate it. So you can only allege, Kobby. You can only allege. Okay, I think there's a...
Because of the content that comes with the hashtags. Because if I'm saying that, fix my road, genuinely, if I'm saying fix my road, do this for me as a youth, I need work, employment, and you are attacking me to fix my attitude, then I don't know where you're coming from. But I want the leadership of this country to really look at the bigger picture to see how best they can really listen to us, because all of them, from the ex-president Mahama to the current president, all of them, in all their campaign messages, they keep hammering on the fact that they are a listening government. True or false?
Kobby, do you want me to answer that?
I want you to answer, because you are in the media, you know that each and every day they tell us that they have the listening ear for the youth. True or false?
Well, they say they have a listening ear for you, so you should be telling us whether they listen to you or not.
Exactly, and they are not listening. They are not listening. Well. They keep saying that, oh, we are here for the youth. Anytime they go, when you see the rallies, anytime you go on campaign rallies, 90% of the people you see, they are youth.
And that's the question about what happens every 4 years.
We are talking already.
Very well, Kobby. So guys, hold on. I'm going to play a short interview with Kyei, but before that, I want to read some messages. So first, I'll read some messages. I'll play a short interview, a clip from Good Afternoon Ghana when we had Kyei, the initiator of the hashtag, and then we'll wrap up the conversation with what is going to happen next. So I'll read the messages because we have our online audience as well. This person says, Icy, says, I really like your topical discussions. Thank you, Icy. This person says, I'm a young artist from Ghana and I keep watching your show. I perfectly love your show, but please, can you ask Ameyaw, the blogger, can I get his WhatsApp number, please? I'm a young artist, like I said. Okay. Another message says, great, Ameyaw, you are educating the general public. This person says, please tell the activist to come out with her interest in the task she has taken upon herself. Another message says, in fact, they must fix it now. Here I am as a pupil teacher. I taught a year ago and I have been paid 1,500 Ghana cedis, which was initiated by Honorable Joseph Kujo to help in putting both JHS and SHS final year students to school, of which I am paid 400 Ghana cedis a month. Okay. I think he's talking about some intervention. Dear, well, my name is not Dear, I'm Francisca. I'm Debrah. I like this program. So after the program, call me for a very urgent chat. Thanks. And also, the lady you are speaking with, You want to speak, you want to have a chat with both ladies in the studio. Anyway, but thanks for watching and keep watching. I'm hoping that rather you'll be learning something from the panelists, the conversation that we're having and their contributions, especially the tips that Ameyaw gave on how to use technology to improve your life. Well, this message is very long. The person identifies as a communications director. I'll try and read just a bit of it. I just love how the youth are more focused than ever before. I just love how the youth are more demanding of putting Ghana at the right spot than ever before. But it saddens me how some influential personalities have sought to ignorantly ask what the government should fix. If you are a Ghanaian, if you're a Ghanaian youth at this time of living, and you are comfortable with the happenings and governance of this country, then you must be joking. If you do not know what the government should fix, let me open your eyes to the new light. Hashtag fix the roads, the hospitals, schools under tree, unemployment, doomso galamsey economy, fix the standard of living. Sami from Adenta says, so we want to ask the people in power, is this the best they can do? Look at Rwanda after genocide. Can't we change the scene? Hashtag inside pages. Thank you, Sami. This person says, my name is Matthew from Asin Fosu. The fact is staring at everyone in the face. Things have gone really bad. The president must sit up. Another message, I think Joshua from Tamale. So I'll end with Joshua before we go for the video. When something happens and we are talking about it, some people just don't understand. They rather call some wrong names because they belong to a certain party. So if that party is doing wrong, I think I'm lost in the message. Forgive me, but Joshua, thank you for voice out
what we're going through. So let's do it. We shouldn't be intimidated. We shouldn't be motivated by politicians. Let's do it because we are the people. We go through it and we demand it to be fixed. Yeah.
Your 30 minutes are up. Kobby, I'll give you 20 seconds.
Okay, so what I would say is that thanks for this opportunity, and I want to thank Metro TV for putting some of us on, the youth of this country, some of us on to also share our opinion. Okay. Lastly, what I would say is that we as youth, in as much as we are raising concerns, we need to also do our research. Let's read wide so that if you are putting any information out, we cross-check very well before we put it out, not just because we are all championing fixed Ghana, then we use the opportunity to also disrespect other leaders. Let's make sure that our informations are always correct and accurate so that we won't just pour anything out there.
Thank you,
the youth
Kobby.
of this country, in as much as we are watching out, let's read and make
20
sure
seconds are up. Thank you. Quickly, Ameyaw, I'll give you 15 seconds.
So, I think that the momentum is on. The hashtag is yielding positive effects. Some MPs and top government officials have come out to respond to us. The response are not so good though. Some MPs like Sam George and the likes have come up to respond to our problems. I feel like we shouldn't stop, and actually we are stopping at nothing. So as time goes on, a lot will come, and I feel like the injunction on the protest is a stampede of our rights. It shouldn't be so. The police shouldn't hide behind injunction to do whatever they want to do.
Well said. Amira, now you are doing 30 seconds, but thank you guys. Thank you so much. Before we go, I want to wish Dr. Efra Sabia-Sari a happy birthday. She's the CEO of GEPA, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Happy birthday to a great woman and an inspiring personality. We also want to commiserate with the family of, the family of the late Lieutenant General Erskine. He passed on earlier this year, and the details of the funeral will be coming, but we want to together as Metro TV say that he should rest in peace, and we wish the family Yako and all the best. But thank you very much for watching. My producer is saying a lot of things. Something about a holiday on what, the 13th, an Islamic holiday. So there's Yes, Eid al-Fitr will be happening on the 13th. Yeah, so to the Muslim communities, my Muslim brothers and sisters, please don't leave me out. This has been Inside Pages. Thank you so much, guys. We dedicated this show to the young people of Ghana to hear from them, and we were trying to get some responses from the government. That was not possible, but we'll keep at it. We're grateful to you for watching on TV and also online. We're thankful for
and inspiring moments.
You're in our brave new world now.